You know, there are some people in history whose impact doesn't just fade away, it actually gets brighter over time. Today, we're going to talk about one of those people, a man who truly believed that the real path to progress is lit up by the light of knowledge. This is the story of Ahmad Dahlan. Okay, so when you hear February 14th, your mind might go to one thing. But in Indonesia, that day carries the weight of a nation's history. It's a day set aside to remember a national hero, someone whose legacy is literally foundational to the country.
So, what does it even mean for a hero's service to be timeless? To really get that, we need to dive into the story of the man himself.
Right, so let's start by just trying to understand his sheer stature. Ahmad Dahlan wasn't just some historical figure. He's seen as a hero for all time, a national pioneer whose work you can still feel today. I mean, just looking at his titles gives you a sense of the scale of his influence. It's not just one thing. He was a national hero for his part in the independence movement. He founded Muhammadiyah, a massive organization that has millions of members today. And he completely reformed Islamic education. Any one of those things could define a person's entire life. But for him, they were all just part of one single, powerful mission for change. So how does someone even become a figure like that? Well, his story doesn't start with some grand plan. It starts with a personal quest, a seeker's journey for knowledge that began when he was just a young man. And this transformation is everything. See, he was born Muhammad Darwish, just a young guy with a deep thirst for knowledge. But the person who came out the other side of that journey was Ahmad Dahlan, a name that would become totally synonymous with pioneering change in Indonesia. Every great journey has that one turning point, right? For him, it was a trip that was both physical and intellectual, a journey that would change absolutely everything. A new light was dawning, and its source was Mecca. This was the catalyst. Being in Mecca, which was a global hub for Islamic thought, it just opened his eyes to a whole new way of thinking. He saw how modern education could be this incredibly powerful tool for progress, and he realized this was exactly what his people back home needed to break free from colonial stagnation. And this right here became his guiding philosophy, the core of his entire mission. He came to believe that Islam should be a force for moving forward, for advancement, for embracing the future, not for regressing into the past. So, armed with this powerful new vision, he heads back home. And he's not just a scholar anymore. He's a man with a very real mission, to put that vision to work for his nation's progress. So how did he do it? His strategy was this revolutionary three-step plan. First, and this was a radical idea at the time, he insisted on combining religious studies with general science, basically tearing down the wall that always separated them. Second, he knew this new way of teaching needed a new kind of home, so he focused on building modern schools. And finally, the whole point wasn't just to teach facts, but to instill the core values of progress directly into his students. A mission like this, it doesn't just end with one person. What he started created a ripple effect, a legacy of light that honestly continues to shine so brightly even today. And the vehicle he built to carry this legacy forward? It was Muhammadiyah. This organization became the engine for his ideas, letting his vision for modern education and social progress spread way beyond what he could do on his own. It grew into this massive national movement. And you can see his vision perfectly reflected in the three main pillars of Muhammadi's work today. It's not just about faith, it's about action. It's about providing modern education for everyone, not just the elite. It's about offering crucial social services like hospitals and orphanages. And it's about fostering the spirit of just continuous public service and good deeds.
In the end, this one message echoes through his entire life. His work was never just about building schools or an organization. It was about igniting a flame, this powerful belief that the light of knowledge is the fuel for progress and that this light has to be protected and kept shining for every single generation that follows.
Which, leaves us with a final thought. We've seen how one person's vision created this legacy of light that has lasted for over a century. So the question now is for us, in our own communities, in our own time, how are we going to choose to shine that same light of knowledge today?
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.